Yeah, I don't think people really collect this stuff anymore. I think it's past its time, and it's just, there's too much of it, and I need the space. I might be best just to donate all this to Goodwill. I mean, who really cares about these things, right? They're just toys. And here we are, a special video for the 1000th subscriber. We are chugging along with the channel. I want to say thank you to everyone. I'd like to shout out to Steve. I'd like to shout out to Julian. I really appreciate everything, and as well as your comments to the channel. So what makes this video special? Well, you got a little teaser already. We are here at the linen closet. I know. What are we doing at the linen closet? This is why we're at the linen closet, because what's in the linen closet will make you wet yourself. And because you're going to wet yourself, we have linens to dry you off. It makes perfect sense. So again, after the move, a lot of the more higher powered vintage stuff, and again, there's more, was placed in protected areas. And this was an area when we were moving in, like the first day, I was like, let me just jam a whole bunch of stuff in here. And we just never got to it. We had to do with a lot of other things, close out storage units. And I go in here from time to time. I check things out, but it needs to be cleaned up. The stuff needs to be on display, but we're not there yet. And that's why we're doing the videos, to get rid of stuff. So the things that I have a passion for, like these items, these will be properly enjoyed. So let's start up here. We have, let's see, April O'Neil. This, oh, we're losing stuff already. Here is the Mutations April. Not too fun for a lot of people. I got Raphael and April as a kid. That is why I have a passion for those two. I love to find original package artwork for these mutation turtles. To me, I do love this stuff. And it's in really nice, clean, sealed box. This is pretty neat. Uh-oh. So these are the Transformers Japanese Keshi Gomu. They're called Mini Correction. And this is the Hero assortment. These are what was produced in Japan first, and then we received them in America and I believe in Canada as well as the decoys in either red and purple. This is how they were released in Japan. They are also released in red, and as well as other Keshi Gomus in different styles and so forth. By Takara, Part 1. The thing about these that people don't really understand is these are meant to be painted. So even on the back of the package, they show kids what they would look like if you paint them. Isn't that cool? So I picked this up in Japan at Mandarake years ago for Sansen Hyakugoju yen. So about 30 bucks at that time. Isn't that great? Clean box. Usually get a little bit more trash. Not a huge market for these things. I personally like them. They have started to dry up a bit. When I go to Japan, I used to find these all the time. All the multi-packs, 20, 30 bucks, whatever. And then, as I said, like, this stuff's drying up. A lot of international buyers from North America, South America, Chinese, lots of Chinese buyers. They're just gobbling all this Japanese stuff up, and it's just disappearing. That's how it is, man. So I'm happy I bought that. We have VR Troopers. This is an original Bandai vehicle for the G-Bond series. I'm not going to pull that out. And this was in the vehicles. They made little action figures about 2.5 inches tall. And this stuff, again, for the longest time, nobody cared about these things. This would be 10 bucks at Mandarake or other collectible stores in Japan. You'd find the minifigures in the little boxes, 5 to 10 bucks each. The key character, of course, worth a little bit more money, but that's about it. We have Air Raiders, a wonderful Hasbro line of miniature figures. It did not fare well. It wasn't even sold internationally into Europe, which is shocking. it deserves more love, but because it didn't reach across the borders of North America, many people are like, what is that toy line? So it doesn't have as strong a value as compared to Dino Riders or Mask, but I still love them. We have a Zoids Giant Zerk, and this is the classic Brontosaurus Zoid from the original series issued in the US. It's just a design that is so beautiful and unique. And Zoids are collected heavily, but because people, they fall into a problem where they're a build-a-kit as well as an action figure series. So people kind of get a little wishy-washy on them, especially when they turn up loose. They're always beat up, incomplete, broken apart. So people have a little bit of an issue collecting them because you just can't pick it up and be like, is this complete? I don't know. So this is very odd. I actually completely forgot that I own this piece, which shows, again, just how dumb I am. Do not ever think I'm an intelligent person. Please, people. This is pretty cool, though. Look at that. Playmates Toys sent this in 1991 for $2.35 to this gentleman in Chicago. Contents, merchandise. What's in here? That's the question. Clearly, it's full of cocaine. Cocaine in the form of toys that we collect. So, is this still... oh, no, there's no way. Like, there's no way it's partially sealed. There we go. So this is the original Turtles. Still carded. I must have bought this so many years ago. It's ridiculous. Look at that. That is absolutely fantastic, gorgeous shape. I'm surprised it survived the shipping, of course. Original 10 back. So we have all the characters, as in all 4 Turtles, in absolutely clean shape, 10 backs in this original mailer box. What's intriguing about this is that this is from Playmates. This is not from Sears or JCPenney. This is from Playmates Direct, which is odd. This is a hand-done label. This means that he must have won a prize, perhaps, and this was the first prize, second prize, something involving Playmates directly versus a normal mail-away package box. That is cool. And look at that. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. My dad would do this. He would find old mailer toys in the house, mainly Kenner white boxes that had no writing on them, like this. And he'd open them up and then write on the box, hey, man. So this has got to be exceptionally difficult to find. I'm happy I bought it. I think I got it at a toy show now that I'm looking back memory-wise. It was probably like $50. It's just, long ago. Let's see what else we got. Some mailers up here. These are G.I. Joe mailers. That's pretty cool. Unfortunately, nobody's in there. I think I picked these up for like $10 each at a show. And I was like, there's not anybody in there. I'm like, that's fine. Who's this? Oh, this is pretty cool. This is a Hasbro. So it says right here, Hasbro Japan. I can't read that heavy kanji there. But this is Princess Leia. This is the Power of the Force 2 Leia, which for many people, this is run of the mill. And I do understand that. I do agree with that. But this is the Japanese sticker on a U.S. card. Now, there's a little bit of a discussion about the rarity of this piece because it was a mail away only first. And then we think it was released later on the U.S. card. Most often, you'll find her on a European card with the Japanese sticker on the back. But this is the mail away prize for Hasbro Japan. There was a limited edition, I believe, of only 500 winners who would receive this mail away Leia in the box in their mail. So that's what makes this a very unique piece, and not many people know about that. And here is the little sticker that they gave out at the toy stores promoting the mail away Star Wars action figure Leia. Oddball stuff up there. Let's see, we've got the rock pot, and then we got Flint. Nobody collects G.I. Joe anymore. Looks to be a clean card, yellow star case, but yeah, nobody collects G.I. Joes anymore, so whatever. We got Japanese Microman set. So this is in our series that was never issued as a Transformer. It was robots that turned into a big robot. It never turned into a vehicle. And therefore, it was nixed from the Transformers series. There's quite a few of these Microman smaller figures that they would have been fun. They would have been nice, but they did not fit into the theme of Hasbro. And that's okay. They don't run too much, about 135 to 150. We got a Dragon Zord original Japanese box, original Devastator from Japan, Chronoform. Nice things, right? Let's see what we got down here. We got a GoBot shipping case here. We have Lena from Bubblegum Crisis. I know you guys love your Bubblegum Crisis. Transform mini cars up the wazoo. We got Cliff Jumper. We have Hubcap, and this is a fascinating piece. They first hit the market, they're a little bit common, and then they all dried up. So this should be a 1990s issued piece, early 19, like literally 1990. And then it has an import sticker for China up here placed on it. And this is very hard to get now. And it wraps around the side right here. Very interesting piece. Here we have Searchlight with a little swoop decoy. $50. That's how much it was when I bought it years ago. Hasn't gone that much up in price. Got them as a kid. I still like them. They're very basic. They're very simple, but their car modes are absolutely fantastic. I love my Transformers. Those were the new mini-cons. Speaking of mini-cons, we got Swerve, Wind Charger, first edition, Gears with Mini Spy, Wind Charger and second version. Let me move the Cliff Jumper to the side. You have Gears, clean cards. Look at that. So long ago, I was at I think it was a BotCon. No, it wasn't a BotCon. It was another convention. And a gentleman had picked up mini cars with the Mini Spies, about 4 of each type. And we're talking like red Cliff Jumper, yellow Cliff Jumper, red Bumblebee, yellow Bumblebee, and then 4 of each of those. And they were between $85 carded for like the Gears and the Wind Charger to up to $125 for Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. And I bought 1 of each from that guy, all dead stock. And that's what we have these today. So we have Transformers Sea Spray, Cosmos, Warpath, Coffer first edition, Bronze second version. Again, all in absolutely gorgeous shape. Very proud of that. And I keep them flat like this for the time being because I'm always scared the glue is just going to come off and I'll just find them someday off the bubble. It just scares the crud out of me. Here is a AFA 80 Cosmos. Look how mint that thing is. And it's still only got an 80. Card 80. Like, where's the blemish? There's no blemish. This is the times where I start mentally frying myself at the condition when they get these things back from AFA. Here is a R5D4. This piece was immaculate. I picked it up from a gentleman who had been sitting on it for years and years. I submitted to get graded. Came back 85, 85, 85. Now, try logos to get an 85, all 3, is extremely difficult with the fragile bubbles and how they were tossed around. But this piece was so mint, I actually got upset when I got it as an 85 back in the mail. I just, wish it was a red bar too. But very difficult to get this piece now, very expensive. So I shouldn't complain until it falls over, obviously. I think I submitted this one. Oh, wow. Look at that. I didn't even know I had this. That's how long it's been, people. They have a tendency to apply yellow bubble to toys that are yellow. So this is not yellow, and it hasn't turned yellow in all these years, but I got the Y designation. AFA 85, figure 90, bubble 90 with the Mini Spy. That is awesome, dude. That makes me happy to have an 85. I actually did, I mean, totally serious. Had no idea. And that means I have one probably ungraded in yellow in just as mint shape. this guy? Who's this? This is... So that's a little loopy for you guys. I met up... Speaking of the devil, holy crap. Big pause. We almost lost a soldier today. That being said, I met a gentleman with a lot of these French Diaclones many, many years ago. It was a case find. He was blowing them out for an amazing price. I think they're $30 each. So I bought a whole pile of the mini cars. He only had mainly gears and wind chargers up the wazoo. So I took the best of the best of the worst of the best. AFA 95. Wow. Card 95. Bubble 95. Figure 95. Isn't that freaking nuts? You will be hard pressed to find another one of those in better shape. And on that note, we have Wind Charger 95. Card 90. Bubble 95. Figure 95. Isn't that nuts? I think it's nuts. Not just nuts, it's nuts. Put these guys this way. And again, as you can already guess, I haven't been through this stuff in forever, and that's why we're doing this. But this was meant to be reserved towards the end. We have many things like this to go through, or as I quote Shang Tsung, this is a taste of things to come. We have the just a random box of turtle communicator. I love it. Just jam that up there. Oh, I remember getting these. These weren't that long ago. Natosa AFA 85. So I picked up a whole bunch of She-Ra carded, and they were all 85s, and they were like $200 each. And the Natosa was like $500, but I was like, she's already graded, and the cost of grading these days is like $125 plus to get these She-Ras graded. And I was like, that's a great deal. I'll take it. Some Secret Wars, some Power Lords. Who's that back there? Spirit Marauder. This was a great buy. So many years ago, look at that. Unbroken Wings for Stinger from Thundercats for $375. And this comes from the time frame where people were buying these from Europe and they knew they could never get a loose mint one. So they opened up a dead stock carded one, which at the time in the early 2000s were like $125 each. And then I picked this one up from a guy who bought from a Giant collection, a person who did that. Great buy. Because at the time I was like, don't buy it, don't buy it. And then I was like, just buy it because you're not going to get one again. Damn right. Rule number one, when in doubt, buy them out. Let's see. We got the Sorceress. That is a really nice piece. I'm very happy about that. I thought it'd be more trash. All my vintage carded figures. Still clear bubble. Would be wonderful as unpunched. But at this point in time, these things are worth so much money now, I can't complain. You just have to be happy with what you own. Prices are just insane for these toys. There's a Digimon. Now, I decided a long time ago to let go of all my Digimons package, though I don't think I'll ever have this guy loose. Look at that price. That was in Psychedelia in Denden Town, Osaka, for the Hapyaku-en, 800 yen. Great price. Might be worth about $50-$75 right now. I'm going to let this one go since we're here. We got a... Look at this. This is how I protected things. Jaga carded. And I actually have a nice case for him. Look at that. Still a clear bubble. That makes me happy. And it's the new version. I really do like it when the third series Thundercats have the new logo on them. We'll get that in the case. I literally have a case behind me, just waiting for this moment. A moment like this. That's just a tie. There we go. Makes a little more room in there. One of the last Star Wars carded figures I ever bought in the past. the artwork for it, as in the photo art, is different than the production one that we saw in North America. So I thought this would be fantastic. And at that time, Tri logos were still popping up case fresh a little bit. So you can see this thing is absolutely flawless. And I paid $350 for it. And again, at that time, I was like, I am paying too much for this. What is wrong with me? That's good to find. So this is the Power of the Force 2 lightsaber for Luke. This is a prototype. This is a resin. Yeah, this is all resin. And around the corner is the actual base resin hard copy. Photo sample. Let that go. We have the Stormtrooper from Japan. This is a wonderful and very hard piece to find. Takara, who is the creator of Transformers, dun, 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 they released Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, and C-3PO initially in Japan for the Star Wars line. The first 3 figures, including this trooper, were made by Takara molds, and a variant because Takara sculpted these themselves. So the head, the waist, there's a little differences here and there. And the back of the figure is screwed in versus sonic welded. Everything looks normal, but this piece was made in Japan, and there's a lack of made in Hong Kong underneath the General Mills Fun Group logo there. And that's how you know, carded wise, that this is one of the first 3 that was produced. Then after that, they're like, what are we doing? Why are we sculpting these things, making our own molds, producing them? Let's just import them from America. So they did that and just put the sticker right there on normal 12-back carded figures, and that was it. Very hard to find that piece. Very hard. Oh, God, that's where they went. Happy memories, to be honest with you, of Japan trips from long ago. Look at that Duke. So long ago, in Japan, in Asakusa, which is, well, northeast in Tokyo, there was a store that's now passed. And there was an old lady that worked there, and she was amazing. And once in a while, she would bring me some tea, and she was just a very kind, very up there in age woman. Her shop that she ran had lots of toys all jam-packed in there. And this is an entire set. This is only part of it. There was an entire set of G.I. Joes, case fresh, hanging from the ceiling. And they were bubble to bubble to bubble for the good guys. And then the Cobra Troopers were all back on the other side. And it was all in one big clear plastic bag hanging from the ceiling. Like, think of like a fly tape hanging from the ceiling, but just G.I. Joe's carded. So the price was still up there to a point. It wasn't bad, of course. Now it's dirt cheap. But then it was up there, like you're paying, to say, $15 each for the average Joe, and then you're paying like $50 each for the better characters. At that time, that was expensive. Look at that assortment. Oh, man. So I went back the year later, and the price was right. She lowered the price, and then the yen got cheaper against the dollar, so it became a very good price. I never forgot. I have a photo somewhere. It's just how Japan is. She's like 4 foot whatever, and it's hanging up in the ceiling, and I was like, I'll get it for you. Don't worry. She's like, no, I have to get it myself. And I was like, I'm not going to interrupt this because there's a point where you're just being a jerk. So she gets the step stool out slowly. She's like partially hunched over. And all I could do was just watch the horror. And she like lifts up her arm to get the carded figures. They're hanging from the ceiling. And instead of like going for the top of the coordinates, all she could do is reach the bottom. So she's grabbing the bottom 2 carded figures of them all in a plastic bag, and she's yanking it and yanking it and yanking it as hard as she can until the whole thing just falls onto her. And she's like, okay, I got them for you. And all I could do was just like snap one quick photo of her like just trying to get them. And in the end, I think the whole lot of every carded figure was like $600 or something. It was cheap. But that was just a fun time. And most of them are in there, and they should be in cases, but you know how this world works. We moved in here so fast, it was ridiculous. We'll wrap it up with this shelf. Oh my God. So I picked this up at Celebration 1 Star Wars. And that was us running to the airport at the last moment for the gates closed. And I didn't have a protective case for this figure. So that crease up there, that was because I had this in my lap and I fell asleep on the plane and it just went between my legs and I creased it. So what makes this a unique piece is that the tri-logo artwork, photo art, is a larger photo of what we got for Luma. So this is very unique of the character to get these wonderful cards. And he's a little more uncommon to get on the tri-logo card versus other characters. Is it big buku dollars? No, but it's still a wonderful piece. Here is the extremely rare Droids Zuckuss carded figure. This was only released in Guam. No, I'm just messing with you. This is a custom figure. It's a wonderful piece by Bill Cable. And he does just, the artwork, everything pops perfectly. And I got this as a gift, and I really do appreciate this piece. The Bounty Hunters, absolutely some of the best. Zuckuss, I love you, man. As they say, where can I find a woman that looks like that, right? Haven't seen this piece in a little bit. Again, I keep these flat because I'm always scared about the bubble shearing off just due to time, aging. There was a person who messaged me not too long ago, the Repungus fell off the bubble in the AFA graded case. Like, it's just like, oh. So I keep them all flat just to keep them protected. This is a rub sign AFA 85 Wheeljack. And I got him as a kid. And I was very happy to get a clean sample like this for my collection. And again, this comes from back in the day where I was paying like $300 for the Wheeljack. If you submitted to get it graded, it was like $60. And then maybe a little bit more than that, to be honest. It's been a while, but I'm very happy. I mean, it would be nice, obviously, to have a pre-rub. But at this point, as I was mentioning earlier, just be happy with what you own. The markets are so expensive now. It's just hard to acquire a wonderful and beautiful collection compared to like 20 years ago. Hence, all this lovely stuff. But that's just how it is, man. You just have to accept it. Like how it all began. I want to accept it. One lovely artwork on this. 1988. How it all began. Mutant madness. Rat Trap from Beast Wars? No way. Shredder gets splintered. Actually, that one's pretty creative. Wow, shuttle guns. So these are from Argentina Playful. And in the 90s, these were popping up, the late 90s actually, early 2000s, for nothing. People in South America were just dumping this stock on eBay. You could get a shuttle gun, both versions, for about $35 each card. And they always had the bubble damage like that. They were a novelty fun piece. Most collectors didn't look at them too seriously because they knew this was just a fun creation from Playful. The top computer console is just from the Mutant Fist Pounders, so are the guns at the side. Through a little back piece, the little handlebars in there, chrome it, and you're good to go. But now these things have gotten more and more difficult to find. The red version is not a plastic cover right there in the front. It's actually like a really thin plastic, so it's much more harder to find. I'm happy I still have a carded one, to be honest. I have a loose one of the other one, but I wonder if in all this mess and, well, there's more behind this door, we should find one more shuttle gun packaged. As we come to a close for this episode, we have a Japanese candy toy from Zoids. Very difficult, number 3. So you see the little box. So as you can see the little hole there that says number 3, that allows the consumer to go to the side of the package and look and compare the number of which character would be in here. That was the candy, so we're okay. And we have the Doberman pincher. Nice. So dead stock, unused. The market kind of flip-flops a little bit on Zoids, but that might be a $200 piece right now. I tried picking these up for nothing in my earlier trips to Japan, like $20, $30, and then the market just exploded due to how rare and unique these are. And now, like, I'm just happy to have my one. Some gem. We have a Thundercats 4-pack from Netherlands of the Wily Kit and Wily Cat. Yeah. So this again will be a taste of things to come as we progress to after the 400 tubs. We'll get into more high-powered vintage stuff like this. And we'll start showing you pre-production, artwork, more rarities, more wonderful stuff. This is just the linen closet, people. There's a room behind me full of this stuff. So we'll see you guys next time. If you did enjoy just wonderfully going through all this stuff, please subscribe. I appreciate it.